Welcome back, Shalligators. We are continuing our series today on the Love is Blind After the Altar episodes because Lord knows there is a lot to break down. Now, last time we talked about Deep Tea and who is it, the Fruit Bat? The Fruit Bat on OnlyFans, like anyone wants to see that? Don't even get me. What's his name? Kyle? Today, we're going to focus on my favorite couple from the series, Jarrett and Iyanna. So knowing what we know now, if you haven't heard, they are getting divorced. They announced it a few weeks ago, and I'm like so sad. I was rooting for them, like Tyra Voice, we were rooting for you. I loved them as a couple. They genuinely seemed so connected. But you know, in our initial video on the Love is Blind series, you know, we talked about like being second place because she was like Mallory, I think was his first choice, but she went to Sal. Like everyone was so into Mallory. She's such an around the way girl. You know what I mean? Are you from the East Coast? An around the way girl. You know what I mean? Hoops. I'm a hoops girl. I'm an around the way girl. So it takes one to know one. But I think they were such a cute couple and they seemed to communicate really well. And Iyanna is she's like this little baby bird and she's just so sweet. And he was so sweet and had this great family. And I loved them all. I loved them together. And it broke my heart when they said they were splitting up. And so we get to see kind of what precipitated that in these After the Altar episodes. And basically, he couldn't stop partying. Have we not been there? I mean, I think this is like a plague amongst us women where like we're ready to settle down and he says he's ready to settle down. Either he's proposed or you're married, or if it's even just like, I want you to be my girlfriend. I like you. It's like, but you're not acting like a boyfriend. You're acting like a single man with a chick at home. And there actually is a very big difference between those. Or is there? For guys, is there? How much should you have to change in service of your relationship? And moreover, how can we get someone to change? Right? We're thinking about this constantly. But we're going to break it all down and then we're going to have some other videos on, let's see, Sal and Mallory, salary, #salary, and what to do and how to act when you run into your ex and his new girlfriend. I am going to be reporting live from the front lines of this issue because tomorrow I'm going to see a guy dated and his new girlfriend. So I'll report back. I'm going to workshop my theory and hopefully have a video on it on Sunday. So yeah, wish me fucking luck. If you don't hear from me ever again, it clearly didn't go well. So yay. But before we get started, I want to remind you guys that there is still time to jump on Laura St. John's manifestation course. Laura is my mindset coach. She's actually a celebrity mindset coach. She's been on Selling Sunset. She's worked with some very high profile people who I'm not going to name, but you've seen them win Super Bowls and Grammys and a lot of really big stuff. And she's helped me unblock a lot in my life and she can help you too. So if you're feeling kind of stuck, she also helped me let go of trying to fix somebody, which was incredibly helpful. And ironically, it really changed the game in our relationship. And we're going to talk about, you know, kind of what I did in this video and, you know, how that can help you. Anyway, she's doing this online 5-week group coaching session. I'm part of it. It premiered Thursday, but you can watch all the episodes after the fact. You don't have to sit in on them live. And you have until next Thursday to sign up for this one and then it's closed. So go ahead and click the link down in the bio and use the code LOVESHALLON to save 20%. Good chunk of change. And you can also just follow her on TikTok. She has $20 downloadable. So you can access her content on a budget because you know we're financially responsible bitches around here. Also, come to Mexico. We have a new Shalligator getaway to CANCUN next February. I'm so excited. It's just going to be like a fun ass girls trip. It's just going to be like, I think we're going clubbing, we're going snorkeling, a boat tour, we're going to take professional photos, we're going to hang on the beach, we're going to drink margaritas. It's like, just picture the best girls trip with me because I'm going to make a pretty fucking bomb. Okay. Let's talk about Love is Blind. Oh, and go ahead and click the link down below for the Mexico trip. There's only 5 early bird spots left, which will save you $200. You know you're going to come. Just save yourself some money. Okay. Jarrett and Iyanna. Like I said, I was really rooting for these two. I loved them. They were so cute. But he seems to be the problem, you know? And listen, we know now, we're high level enough thinkers to realize that like a man can be a clown, but who's buying tickets to his circus? Is it us? Okay. Jarrett doesn't seem like a clown. He seems like, I don't even want to say a fuck boy, but a boy, like versus a man. He is so manly in so many ways, and he seems like a really good communicator. But she said in these episodes that like he just couldn't put down the bottle. Not necessarily in a way that like he's an alcoholic. I've dated someone with alcohol problems who even like went to rehab for them. And I still don't consider him an alcoholic because the alcohol was the anesthesia for the root issue that he was dealing with, you know? For some people, they truly do metabolize alcohol like a drug. It's like heroin, like they physically need it. I think for a lot of people, they don't. They're addicted to the anesthetic effects of what alcohol gives them. And you know, I've done a video, because I don't drink anymore really. Well, I have like a glass here and there, but I don't drink. And I'm just out here like just raw dogging life. It's kind of a nightmare sometimes. No, it isn't, but it's challenging. You know, it has its challenges, as anything does without anesthesia, right? But to me, like you can focus on alcohol as being the problem, or you can focus more smartly on what is fueling that need to drink. And for Jarrett, you know, she was like, well, he's a bouncer at a bar. Now, I thought he was a barber. Wasn't he a barber? He had like a barber's chair in his apartment. And that, like, he is too smart to be a bouncer. Sorry, like he's more than just like muscles. Like he is a smart cat. Like he's hot, he's funny. What are you doing, dude? And, you know, she was blaming his behavior. It's like, you know, he's at the bars and so he's drinking. It's like, yeah, but which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the job or the acceptance and the liking of that lifestyle that made him get that job? Do you know what I mean? Like they're both feeding into each other. And she was saying that he basically like acted like a single man. Like he has never had to adjust his behavior. He's never had to adapt to somebody else. He's never had to check himself because he's never been married. He's never lived with somebody. So now having this person in his life, and you know, all of this happened so fast for them. Like it was like in hyperspeed. The adjustment period has not caught up to the actual circumstances. Does that make sense? Like he's in a lag, catching up to the reality of the situation you have at wife. Now, on one hand, I feel tempted to give him some passes on that. It's like, yeah, this happened fast. Did it happen fast? I've done TV. I've done a reality show. They actually don't happen fast at all. They don't. They take a long ass time to get on the air. The audition process is forever. The filming process, like, it was very intentional that he tried out for this show. It was very intentional that he spent time in the pods, right? This did not look, oh, I woke up and there's a wife there. Is that what I ordered on Amazon? I don't know. I clicked try before you buy. What the fuck do you think you were getting into, bruv? You know? So, I mean, as much as I want to be like, yeah, this is like all kind of thrown at him at once, wasn't that kind of the point? Wasn't that the point? So maybe he didn't fully realize what he was getting into, which you can understand because this is such a weird situation. Like most of us aren't meeting people in pods on you know, like I don't know that your brain can conceptualize truly and wrap its head around like what that situation might mean, what the outcome actually equates to. But then again, look at child making. Look at having sex. You get drunk, you're like taking fucking Jello shots, and then you're getting boned, and then I'm sorry, I'm what? We're having a what? Huh? Get on board. Get on board. And you know what? People do. People do. They get on board either when they find out they're pregnant or when the baby comes. So at the longest, it can be like 9 months. Is this that different than how long this process was for Jarrett to get on board? People can adapt if they want to. Steve Harvey, I know we have to do his book as a show literature selection, I know. But first, we are going to do a new book club selection coming up because one of my besties, Eliza Schlesinger, wrote a new book and she's sending me an advance copy. And so I think it's going to be like perfect for us to do book club about because, you know, she's such a bad bitch and she's such like a feminist, like in the way that we are, you know, not like I'm not shaving my legs, don't open a door for me. But it's like women can do whatever we fucking want. We can do whatever we want, okay? We're not less than. I personally don't want to be treated with equality. I want to be treated better. That's just where I'm at. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about books. Steve Harvey. Oh, he has this quote that I don't want to believe. He's like, a man will change for the right woman. If he's not changing, you're not the right woman. It's right here. It's right here. My neck that you came for, Steve. Do you want to drag me to hell by my neck? It's here. Just to make it clear. But you know what? It's true. How many times have we been in a situationship and it's the When Harry Met Sally thing. I talk about this a lot. If you've ever seen that movie, Sally had this long-term boyfriend. They lived together. They never got married. She's like, we don't want the commitment. We don't want kids. We just want to like fly by the seat of our pants. They break up. The next, like 6 months later, he's engaged to his secretary. And she's like, it's not that he didn't want to get married. He didn't want to marry me. And I think about that so much. And it's like, that is the truth. We see this in our situationships. He won't commit and he's not doing this. Blah, blah, blah. We finally cut them off after like 8 months, whatever it is. 6 weeks later, who the fuck is that on their Instagram? And we look at whoever this dumpy bitch is, some fucking Meredith, you know, in her sensible slacks and her low bun. She looks like one of the founding fathers. And we think, how is she the right woman? But I'm not the right woman. She's the right woman. Look, sometimes she just is. Right for him is not who would be right for you because you're better than him. I mean, let's just say it simply. You're better than him. He's a shitty guy, so he's going to gravitate towards someone who's really not going to push back that much on the shitty. Maybe she's kind of shitty too. The bar for her just might be lower. Pigeons versus eagles. Eagles are a superior bird. They're masterful. They're on our fucking currency, right? Pigeons, is that a cigarette butt? They don't want to be around an eagle. You put an eagle in with pigeons, the pigeons scatter. Even though you're like, why don't you want to be around a superior bird? Maybe you could learn a thing or two. Maybe you could learn to catch a fish instead of a rotisserie chicken carcass in the Bronx. Do you know what I'm saying, pigeon? Pigeons don't want to hear it. They want to be around other pigeons who don't challenge their pigeonness, who don't form any contrast so that the pigeon has to look in his pigeon mirror and go, I'm a clown, cigarette butt. They don't want that. So for that pigeon, another gutter pigeon, chef's kiss. Perfect. And the eagle's like, bro, are you okay? No, I'll see myself out. I'm sure it would be maddening for the eagle, except that it isn't. Because the eagle's like, why would I want to be around you? I am an apex predator. I am at the top of the food chain. Of course I don't want to hang around a fucking pigeon. Why are we pigeonizing ourselves? Are we doing that? Are we an eagle cosplaying down here in the gutter with pigeons? I mean, like, why don't they like me? Ah! Why don't they like me? Ah! What are we doing? Little off topic. Because I don't think Jarrett's a pigeon. I don't even necessarily think Iyanna's an eagle. I don't think they're both pigeons. They're both like cute little songbirds. They're cute little songbirds. You know, not everyone's a pigeon or an eagle, but the people sometimes we date are. My point is, we ourselves cannot just change a man. But you know what? I don't even want to get into this yet. I'm not done talking about Jarrett and Iyanna and this party boy mentality, you know? It's very frustrating when a guy says he wants something. I want commitment. I want a wife. I want a girlfriend. I'm ready to settle down. Then fucking prove it. The phrase talk is cheap. You know what that means? I kind of never, it's like one of those phrases you hear and you're like, I don't know what that means. It means it costs nothing for someone to say those things. Yeah, I want a girlfriend. Ooh, I'm the boyfriend guy. Yay, commitment. Let's have a baby. What did that cost? Nothing. I can say anything. I went to Oxford. I speak Japanese. I can see through time. Wow, look at me. Make me prove it. Talk is cheap. Behaviors are expensive. Behaviors come at a cost, don't they? I want to settle down. I want to be a boyfriend. All right, what does that look like to you? Oh, it means I can't go to like fantasy football, like drunken barf-a-thon on Sundays. Saturdays are not for the boys. Saturdays might be for us and Home Depot and Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, I have to stay home with the baby. I have to do that. I don't just get to fuck and then there's an heir. I have to do that. Change has a cost. A mature person calculates that cost in advance. They pay it in advance. They have already created a life that is oriented around partnership. They don't wait until they meet the girl drunk at 2 a.m. at the bar to put that behavior kind of in the rear view. They already have it in the rear view. They don't wait until this girl comes in and she now comes into this relationship with this agenda she didn't even know about of changing him, of growing him up. He grows up on his own in a vacuum without someone lording over him and making threats and giving ultimatums and nagging because he organically wants to change. He organically wants to change. I look at myself and with drinking and losing weight and just orienting my life differently. Let's throw those things out. Because you guys know that I don't drink because I'm on Ozempic and I physically can't get drunk. And if I could still get drunk, like I don't think I would have gone cold turkey alcohol the way that I did. You know, it's hard. It's very hard to give up. The social pressure, it sucks. You want to unwind with a little glass of wine. You want to celebrate with some champagne. It's fucking difficult, right? So I won't say that this is like, all my self-control or even my maturity. I kind of got locked out of alcohol and truly it's the best thing in the world. But like, I really shouldn't pat myself on the back for that. But let's use the example of me moving from New York to Montana because that's like a great big settle down, right? It's giving up this whole identity, this lifestyle, this party girl thing, this it girl vibe to be in like the country. If I wasn't ready to do that, no man in creation could have made me. I might have pretended, let's move to the country. Let's do it. And I would have acted the fuck out. I would have cheated. I would have constantly traveled. I would have shit on everything. Oh, your stupid Crocs that you're wearing. I would have hated everyone. I would have made it a miserable experience. Why? The psyche must be heard. The psyche will do it the easy way. She'll say, do not move to Montana. You're literally not into this. Or she'll do it the hard way. If you're like, of course I want this. She'll be like, all right, here we go. Let's fuck some shit up. I came to fuck it up. And she will ruin the experience, the relationships, the potential friendships, the opportunities. She'll do it all until you stop. And you're like, what were you saying? Oh, I don't like it here. Okay. And it kind of seems like that's what Jarrett's psyche is doing to him. For whatever reason, he is actually not ready to settle down. It's not the club. It's not the drinks. It's not the friends. It's something else. He's not there yet. And I'm sure this fucks him up because he looks at Iyanna and he even said like in the show, I didn't get it until I came home one day and she was packing. And then it was like, oh my God, don't leave, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. That's when I got it. But he didn't get it. He got it, but he still did not have that internal impetus to make a change. He was so sad about the consequences, but he couldn't get himself to the point where he organically wanted to stop drinking and stop partying. If I had stayed married, and my husband was like, let's move to Montana, and I wasn't ready, and he's like, then I'm leaving you. It would have been in the exact same situation. I would have come home and seen him packing up our farmhouse and been like, don't do this. But that would not have created the organic desire in me to live out in the country if I wasn't actually there. And again, I could have doubled down and been like, no, I'll stay. And the psyche's like, big mistake. Here we go again. I can do this all day. I can fuck shit up all day. And it would have rinsed, repeat, rinsed, repeat. And that's exactly what happened with Jarrett and Iyanna. And it stood out to me when they were at that cabin, and they had that 80s party and they were sitting there and he was like joking around with her. He's like, oh, I got a plan, like a 90-day, 60-day plan. She's like, you do? And he's like, oh no, I'm just playing. She's like, oh, because that, okay, well, what is the plan? I thought, fuck, Jarrett, like you are blowing this, dude. Like, and honestly, if I was Iyanna, like she should have gotten up and walked away right then. She really should have, because she did the hard thing. She moved out, but then to still give him love and access to her, huge mistake, girl. He can't miss you if he hasn't lost you. And missing needs to be 100 or 0. It's not something in the middle. It's like, well, I kind of miss her. I miss having her here, but I do still get to talk to her, so that's good. You have to call this bluff all the way. This is not a relationship at this point. It's a war. I hate to have to look at our partners that way. I hate to go into Cesare Borgia war mode, but I will. When I say what I need from you, when you say what you're going to give and then don't, okay, XYZ behavior hurts me. Partying hurts me. Ignoring me hurts me. You know that. And when you continue to do it, the only conclusion I can draw is that you're doing it on purpose and that you're deliberately trying to hurt me. What is that if not a war? Now look, you only need an eyedropper full of this mentality. You don't need a whole ocean of it, because you don't want to set up an adversarial construct with your partner, and you do want to approach this from a place of peace versus victory. However, you need to look at this as a war in terms of motherfucking strategy. Strategy. Okay, so my opponent is going to play dirty. My opponent's going to lie to me. I am removing myself from this. You want to dance? Let's dance. You don't want to be the person I need? I'm not going to be a person at all to you. This is the hardest thing in the world. When all you want is for someone to plug in, to unplug yourself and walk in the other direction, I'm telling you, every cell in your body is going to say, this is the wrong move. Your friends might even say, this is the wrong move. You got to plug in, try to fix it. They're wrong. Your body, your psyche, your heart, wrong. I am right. I am right. You have to walk away, because they have to see that you are willing to do this. Study after study, historical character after historical character, Cleopatra, Hailey Baldwin, like these people have all walked the fuck away. You have to do that. You have to pick a line and say no. Anne Boleyn, King Henry VIII was like, let's just have sex. Just a blowjob, be my mistress. She's like, you're not fucking touching me unless you're divorced. That's it, point blank, period. He split the Catholic Church in two. She didn't budge. She became queen. Didn't work out so well for her, but that's neither here nor there, right? He's a capricious man, capricious fat man. If you're not willing to walk away, he knows that. So all of this, I need this from you. Do you? How bad do you need it? Because you're not willing to leave to find it elsewhere. He's picking up on that. That's not like being lost on him. We are incredibly efficient calculators of just how far we can push someone. How far do you push your boss? Probably not very. How far do you push your dad? Possibly not very. How far do you push that guy you know is in love with you? Little farther. Little farther. We have an excellent radar for elasticity, don't we? Guys especially do. They know. She ain't gonna leave. They're maybe not saying this out loud. They're not saying it to their friends. They're not even maybe saying it consciously, but based on their behaviors, they're absolutely saying it. They have the sharpest image of just what they can get away with. And ask yourself, is the answer of what they can get away with anything? Everything? No. Really? What have been the consequences you've deployed so far? A fight? You were mad for 24 hours? I'd set my watch for 24 hours and be in the doghouse for a little bit. If I knew after that, I can go right back to what the fuck I was doing. If that's the price tag, okay, so I'm going to go out 30 days in a row. She's going to be mad for 24 hours for one day. That's fine. I can handle that. That's fine. I'll buy her some flowers. So you're telling me I can do whatever I want and it's going to cost me a $40 bouquet of flowers, $20 bouquet of flower? I'll pay that. No sweat. These are going on. These calculations are happening. You don't want to admit it. He doesn't even want to admit it, but it's happening. You don't believe me? Look at the behaviors that keep continuing. Look at the things you're not doing. Look at the bluffs he's calling. And you're coming out on the bottom. Okay? So you need to flip the script. You want him to stop drinking? You want him to come home? You want him to commit? Bye. You don't need to have some huge talk. This is what I need from you. He fucking knows what you need from him. Because guess what? Guess what, my unique little snowflake? We're not that unique in terms of what we want from men. Every woman basically wants the same thing from men. Commitment, stability, love, reciprocity, listening, right? None of this is like super unique. He knows what women want from the time he is 6 years old. It is everywhere. Women never shut up about it. None of this is opaque. None of it is a mystery. You have told him. He knows. He knows. What he doesn't know is what you're going to do to get your needs met. Because again, up until now, up until you're watching this video and changing your mind, the answer has been, I will do nothing to get my needs met. I'll stomp around and I'll make a big noise. But that's about it. It's like, I'll bitch at brunch, I'll be in the group chat, and this is what I'm going to text them. I'll be in my notes app. Well, this is what I'm going to say. But in terms of actual behavior, are you walking away? Are you calling off the wedding? Are you filing for sole custody? What are you doing? That's what I thought, because that's where I've been. That's where I've been. These people are preying on our love for them. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's the worst feeling in the world when when you're ashamed of loving someone, when there's shame in your voice, when you're saying, I love you. It's a disgusting feeling. And no man is worth that. He's not, girl. And you know what? If he is, you're like, I love this man. We have a great life outside of XYZ. He's love my, whatever. Fucking prove it. Walk away. Give him room to grow up. It's a sad fact that I know I said, like, a real man changes in a vacuum. He doesn't wait for someone to come and like twist the screws. Yeah, well, that's true. There aren't a lot of real men out there. I mean, there are, but like what I've noticed is most of the time, men only mature through disaster. They grow up when they get deployed to war, right? They really buckle down and start that business after they get laid off. They change when the woman walks out. They truly are the weaker sex. We like to mature. Like, we grow, we read self-help books, you're on this channel. Like, how many guys do you know who watch a channel like this one? Any of them? Who are like, no, I genuinely want to be better. I mean, not none. Like, I do know a lot of guys, like, and the guys that I truly fall for are the ones who are bettering themselves in a vacuum. But still, when it comes to relationships, I've had to walk away. I've had to walk the fuck out. Block them, unfollow, whatever it is. And you know what? Toxic guys will be like, oh, so what is this, an ultimatum? Yeah, it is. Dress it up, dress it down, call it what you want. This isn't an ultimatum, it's cause and effect. It's you choose a behavior, you choose the consequence. Is that a foreign concept to you? You choose to drive drunk, you choose to get a DUI. Huh? You're living this truth all the time in everything you do. Do not sit here and tell me that I am the exception to logic itself. Don't fucking sit here and tell me you cannot possibly abide this kind of dynamic because you abided at the fucking gas station. If I keep squirting, if I keep holding, things come out and then it's a fire. But for me, no. Fuck off. Fuck out of here. No. So sure. It's an ultimatum. You can run around, she gave me an ultimatum and I'm not doing that. Cool. Who are you going to tell it to? Because it's not going to be your girlfriend because I'm out. So great. You want to be right instead of happy? Cool. That's fine. I'm going to go find my happy with someone who I don't have to like needle and turn the screws on. Give him room to show you who he actually is. And please, for God's sakes, I beg you, pay attention to what you see. Please. Don't gaslight yourself. Oh, that's not what I'm seeing. No, it's not. No, I'm not seeing that. We can bitch all day long about men gaslighting us. No one has gaslit me harder than myself. Nobody. Oh, he's just scared. No, it's not that he's fucking half a Bozeman. No, he's scared of how much he loves me. He just loves me so much he has to fuck all these other people. That's what I'm seeing. That's what it is. How do you not end up feeling crazy? How do you not resent the person who's gaslighting you? And when you hit that point of self-resentment, that's when the bitterness kicks in. That's when the impetus for revenge kicks in. That's when you cannot get over it. And that's when this extends to every other part of your life. Why would I go for that promotion? I'm a piece of shit, right? Look what I left in my life. How could I face the music about my weight, my health, my career, my finances? I can't face the music about this fuckboy. Again, this is not something we're saying overtly to ourselves. It's happening on the low, on the micro, on the subconscious. When really all we need to do is face the music. And I know it's not an all we need to do. It's so hard. But look, if you can face the music and be like, this man is not, he might not ever change. He might not settle down. He might not leave the club. He just might not do that. So I need to go and find someone who I don't need to try to fix. Of course I love him. But Jarrett and Iyanna, if they tell us anything, love isn't enough. Not by a long shot. Chemistry isn't compatibility. Love blunts the edges of a relationship so you're not screaming at each other about who put the glasses in this way versus that way, right? But it's maybe 15% of the equation. You have to have a lot more alignment than that. And the worst thing is when someone turns that love into the target on your back, right? They weaponize it against you. And they use it as a manipulation tactic to get you to stay when they're not changing. I want to know what you guys have to say about Jarrett and Iyanna. Have you changed a guy? What did you do? Did you walk out? How long did it take? Did you go completely cold turkey? Like, let's discuss this. I have my theories. Obviously, I have become very good at walking away because I have created a life that is whole without a man. I want a man, and it breaks my heart to have to do that. Of course, you love someone. It's heartbreaking, and I do feel emptier when they're gone. But when I walk away, I don't leave my entire identity at their doorstep. I take it with me. Who I am, what I do, my purpose in this world, my legacy, it's not attached to them. It isn't. And that's tough, to spend the energy to create an emotional real estate, actual real estate, where you are okay, mostly okay on your own. But if you don't do that, they can smell it. They can tell. It's that elasticity. They know you're not walking away. Walking away to what? All your friends? Your thriving career? You and your dreams and your goals outside of me? What the fuck are you walking away from? And what are you walking to? Nothing. I'm all you've got. Again, he's not writing that in his diary at night. Like, he's not hopefully a truly nefarious person, but he is thinking this. These calculations are happening and they are being manifested in terms of his behavior. It's an ugly thing to look at. It's a lot uglier to refuse to look at. I want to know your thoughts on this. We're going to be back talking about Mallory and Sal, #Salary, and what to do when you run into your ex. I'll see you later, Shalligators.